Good morning, friends. Anonymous donations. The charitable organizations really fear this word, and especially after Form 10BD has been introduced. But most of them are unaware of the actual provisions of the law with regard to the anonymous donation. So here I am from Team NGOenabler providing you complete update on the same. First, let's check out the definition of anonymous donation. The definition of anonymous donation has been laid out in subsection 3 to section 115 BBC of the Income Tax Act, which says, for the purposes of this section, anonymous donation means any voluntary contribution referred to in subclause 2A of clause 24 of section 2, where a person receiving such contribution does not maintain a record of the identity, indicating the name and address of the person making such contribution. I repeat, a person receiving such contribution does not maintain a record of the identity, indicating the name and address of the person making such contribution and such other particulars as may be prescribed. This implies anonymous donation is like any other voluntary contribution but without the identity details of the donor. However, in our opinion, merely because the donor has denied to provide its identity details does not make the donation anonymous, provided the organization notes down at least its name and complete address, which practically makes the person traceable whenever required. Taking their signatures on the receipts shall further strengthen this stand. There might be different expert opinions on this, but due to non-cooperation of the donors, neither the organization should be penalized by levying taxes on them, nor they should be deprived of the donation which such donors are willing to donate them. It's just an opinion. We are not trying to argue or make our own law. Give it a thought and see whether it's legitimate or not. The best thing would be if the government itself can take up this matter and specifically spell out the provisions in such cases. Anyways, now let's discuss about the taxability of the anonymous donations, which will also clear the confusion that whether the organizations should accept anonymous donations and if yes, up to what limit. Very few know that a circular was released on 3rd June 2010, while which tax relief on anonymous donation was given. Before the circular, under the provisions of section 115 BBC, wholly religious entities were completely outside the purview of taxation of anonymous donations. Partly religious and partly charitable entities had also been exempted from the taxation of anonymous donations, except where the anonymous donations was directed towards an educational or medical institution run by such organization. In the case of wholly charitable entities, all anonymous donations were taxed at the rate of 30%, that is the maximum marginal rate. However, after the circular and the correspondent amendment in the law, currently the provisions related to the anonymous donation stands as follows. Anonymous donations received by wholly religious institutions continue to remain exempt from tax. In the case of partly religious and partly charitable institutions, anonymous donations directed towards a medical or educational institutions run by such organizations shall be taxable only to the extent such donations exceed 5% of the total donations received or a sum of rupees 1 lakh, whichever is higher. Other donations to partly religious and partly charitable institutions shall remain exempt from taxation. In the case of wholly charitable institutions, anonymous donations shall be taxable only to the extent such donations exceed 5% of the total donations received by the organization or a sum of rupees 1 lakh, whichever is higher. So, from today's discussion, one thing is very clear. The religious or charitable organizations should not fear while accepting anonymous donations. It's not that your exemption shall be revoked. Yes, of course, it would be better if it's within the limit prescribed, but in case it exceeds the limit, you can pay the taxes on that portion of the donations and relax. For the limits of cash donations, do watch our video if you have missed it. Click on the link given in the description. I hope I have been able to provide clarity on the concept of anonymous donation and its taxation. For any queries, you can contact us through mail or comment below. And for more such updates, keep tuned to our channel and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.